Welcome to Shady Talk Wednesday. How is everybody doing out there today? Yes, I am excited to be here today. You already know it's your girl, Miss Shade. I am so excited. One, I'm excited because the weather has finally changed. I'm telling you, just the last week or two, I really felt like we were still in November. So I am just thanking God that we are able to see some sun because I feel like the sun help us get into a more better mindset and help us feel like, we can just grasp the world a little better. We could think a little better. We could feel a little better. Sunlight is always amazing to me. And just to wake up every morning and to see that we are blessed to be here another day is truly another blessing. But I want to thank you all, my followers, my Shady lovers, my Shady fans, for always tapping in with me on this lovely Wednesday, every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. So give it up for yourselves. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So today this episode is called Shady Fan Topics. The reason why I named it Shady Fan Topics because I had some of my fans and my followers and my Shady fan lovers that wanted me to bring up some topics today. So as you already know, y'all know I am the girl, your girl, who loves to converse and talk about reality issues, things that, people can relate to, just that kind of thing. So what I did today is don't judge my bag. Don't judge my bag. But I did put the topics in the bag. It is a few of the topics. It is a few different topics. And I had said that what I'll do is instead of me trying to go one by one, I'll shake the bag and I'll just discuss some topics. But before we get into any of the topics, I wanted to, I got to promote myself. If you don't know, now you know. I am having my third annual comedy show this year, 2025, May 10th. It's an oldies but goodies comedy show. For those who have been there the first 2 years, you already know how I like to rock out, how I like to vibe. It's a Shady Keys Entertainment. My girl DJ Keys, my boo thing will be on the ones and twos. She always bringing that vibe into the room with that old school music. And I'm just excited to do it again. This is my third year. I'm kind of enjoying comedy more. I started out doing comedy maybe like 8 years ago, but I think I started grounding myself a little more maybe like 2 years. And I'm really starting to really enjoy it. I've always been the type of person, though, that I just enjoy people. I like to talk on a mic. I always been the one that, when certain events came up for my friends and family, they'll say, hey, T, go get the mic, go say this, go say that. You ain't shy, you ain't scared, you ain't this. And you know what? When I look back, it's like, wow, no wonder why I am where I am at today. As a comedian, as a host, as, doing a podcast life, all of it really falls up under my life, the things that I love to do. Podcast is definitely my first option, what I love to do. I love comedy because the part that I love about comedy for me is I don't think I'm just a comedian. I think I'm more of an entertainer. When I see myself, I'm kind of more of an entertainer. That's what makes me feel like I can be an actor. I do act too. Shout out to Clark Clyburn Productions. I've done many of his plays. I've performed in his plays. I've also opened up his plays with doing comedy. You can also follow him too as well on Facebook. Clark Clyburn. He's a great writer. He's a great producer. He does it all. He has an amazing cast. I love the cast. They just came back from traveling from Tennessee, taking a few of the short plays down there. So I'm excited about that. So if you follow him or if you like to follow him, his name is Clark Clyburn. And you could check him out on his page because he's always having plays. And I believe he have two plays coming up this year that you could tap in if, if your family like to see plays or you want to take your friend out, just to get out and do something. Check his page out. I'm telling you guys. His plays is so comical. Some of them will make you cry. But you would definitely enjoy it. So shout out once again to Clark Clyburn from Paterson, New Jersey, who does plays. And I said that to say because when I just was talking about acting and just seeing like some of the things that I do, I'm such a multitask. I'm such a multitask. Sometimes I feel like I am the jack of all trades when it comes to things that have to do with like entertainment. I really, really enjoy entertainment. So, listen, this year, May 10th, 2025, once again, I'm having my third annual Oldies But Goodies comedy show where we bring you back old school music. It's going to be great vibes. It's going to be food. It's going to be comedians. It's going to be 50/50s. It's going to be door prizes. And I also have a special treat of a small entertainment that will be going on in the building as well. So listen, the tickets are $50. If you follow me, if you don't follow me, the link is always on my page. Be sure to grab a ticket, bring your friends out, your family out, your mom out, your girlfriend out, your boo thing out. And I always try to tell the guys, listen, I know it's a Mother's Day event, but it's just not for the women. It's just not for the moms. I would love to see some men in the building again. Last year I had I'm going to say maybe about 6, 7. The first year I had quite few many. Some sisters brought their brothers out. Some brothers brought their sisters out. So I enjoyed that. So this year I want to see some men too. I don't want y'all to just send y'all mamas and send y'all women and send y'all daughters and send y'all nieces and send y'all sisters. I mean, you can. But also, too, if you want to come out and enjoy the show, you can as well. I am having all male comics this year because last year I had all females. So I'm trying to switch it up every year and do something a little different. Vibe the room out every year as much as I can. So this will definitely be something I feel that you ladies and gentlemen will enjoy coming out being a part of. So it's May 10th, 2025. It is in Paterson, New Jersey at the new rooftop, 181 Straight Street, the second floor. The doors open at 3 p.m. So don't meet me there, beat me there. Get your tickets now. So without further ado, as I was saying, got a few shady topics that I want to talk about that people have wrote. Shout out to my mom, Deborah Reynolds, my uncle Reggie. Hi mommy, hi uncle. I know it's a few more people who's up there, but for some reason sometime on my Facebook it be different names, but for some reason the same name kind of repeats itself. I don't know why it does that. But whoever is on my Facebook right now, my YouTube channel that's following me, thank you so much for keeping up with me. Hey, Uncle Reggie, listen to my uncle. He said, I am so very proud of you, niece. Keeping up the good work that you are doing. Thank you so much, Uncle Reggie. One thing I will say about my mom, my uncle, my sister, my kids, my family, they are such great supporters. And you need that. You need that in your life, and I try to tell people all the time, it's not about a financial thing. I'm the type of person that my friends and my family or my close ones or my loved ones, it's not about people just showing up for me. I like people to show up for me because I like to represent them too as well, that they're showing up for me. I like people to see who's a part of my tribe. I enjoy letting people see who I'm connected to, who I'm cool with, who's my family, who's my children, who's my mate. I enjoy that part of support. Some people think support is just about financial. It's not just financial, not for me. For me, I enjoy the excitement of seeing my people in the building to know that they are a part of my tribe. So that's the thing for me. That's the thing for me. But once again, like I said, shout out to all my Facebook followers, my YouTube followers. Hopefully I got some new TikTok followers because I did do me a live video on TikTok because I'm trying to plant myself on these platforms. I'm not really the greatest at technology. I'm from the old school. I was born in the 70s. We ain't grow up with all of this stuff. We come from beepers, regular cell phones. You couldn't see nobody on the phone. You couldn't see nobody at no payphone. You kind of communicate. I come back when you handed out invitations to people to come to your event, and you kind of felt like once you gave people invitations, they showed up. It's so different now to me that I feel like, even though people say that social media is such a great platform, which I do believe that social media could be a great platform for promoting, but I do like to reach out to the people that's very old school too, because I feel like old school people, they don't make you feel like when you're trying to invite them to an event that you're begging for support or you're begging someone to show up for you. They still understand that events or things that you're having, it's like an invitation. It's something that you kind of just look forward to get together with people or get together with them and see them at your event. Now, to me, it's like with this social media thing, sometimes we're promoting things or putting things out there. People hide now. They hide behind the cameras. They hide behind the phone. People will talk to you about one thing, and then if they see that you're promoting something, it's like you don't see them no more on your page, or they're hiding to push a like because I guess they feel like you're trying to pull them to get involved with what you're doing. So to me, even with my oldies but goodies show, that's why I said I named it oldies but goodies, because oldies but goodies to me, it makes me feel like I'm connecting with a old school type of vibe. People that's just looking forward to just come out to have a good time. Nobody is like counting anybody's pockets. Nobody is really studying what somebody is doing. People who are just genuinely happy to get out, to see somebody that's doing something, to enjoy the moment, to be able to talk about it later on and say, oh, I had the experience of, going to a comedy show or going to an event that, had comedy, it had entertainment, it had food, it had music, it had people in my era, where people got dressed up, came out, had a good time. That's what my promotion is about. And that's why the title of my comedy show that I do, it will forever be named Oldies But Goodies, because I'm just that kind of 70s girl at heart and 90 girl at heart, that I love that old school love, that genuine love where people could really relate to. I feel like now, since social media, people are trying to keep up with this new thing, this new wave, as people will call it. This new thing of just, being a follow the leader, or hiding behind something. It's like, or feeling like, I'm not being a fan of hers, or I'm not being a fan of theirs. I'm not going to be making sure I'm showing up at their events, or I don't know. But however it go, Like I told people on my last episode, keep doing what you doing. If you feel like you gotta pull people for love, them ain't your people. Trust me, the people who loves you and genuinely want to see you win and just genuinely want to come out to have a good time and still know how to enjoy that old school good vibe, they're gonna relate. They're gonna relate to you and they're gonna show up. And that's the reason why I also call my show Oldies But Goodies. Also, too, I like to call it Oldies But Goodies, too, because it makes me reminisce on my grandparents, my grandma, my father, my uncle. Rest in peace to them who's not here. It just brings back good memories of my childhood. Growing up and going to my grandma's house and being able to every Sunday, there's food on the stove, or just, bringing my children by to see my grandparents, or, just chilling in the backyard with my grandparents. Even me and my mom going over there, when my mom's still having a relationship with my grandparent and my father and my aunt, who was once here, who are now my guardian angel. So my show to me is a meaning. I feel like when you're doing things in life, it has to be meaningful. Like, I know we could get this thing that we could just make up stuff and just put stuff together and go with a flow. And sometimes it does work. I'm not going to say it don't, because you can pick up things to, do things, get into it, and it works. But for me, it gotta be meaningful. It gotta mean something to me, anything that I do. It gotta be something that's relatable to something that I do. It just gotta be me. Like, even when I look at myself, like I was saying, as far as like the things that I'm doing, the comedy, the hosting, the podcast life, the acting, when I look back, those things have always been me. First of all, I've always been a down to earth person. I've always been very sociable. I've always been a girl that was easily to get along with. I've always been the type of girl or friend that's just down for, good vibes. I've always been the type of person or friend that knows how to, stay away from negativity, or try to bring the positivity around my people. Or I've always been the type of girl who's made people laugh and feel comfortable in conversing, and I've just always been. So to me, like I said, anything that I do that you see I promote or I do, trust me, it's all relatable to me. It has to be relatable to me. Even like I said, the oldies but goodies, just growing up, you know with my mom. And just even the other day I put up a post about a straighten a comb. Like, we used to hate seeing a chair in front of a stove, because when you seen that hard rusted back chair in front of your stove that your mama had up, you can smell the smoke from your bedroom from them stink straightener combs. And then don't let her put the blue magic grease on there. I'm telling you, that thing was sizzle. And my mama used to always say, every time I be squinching and squinching, oh, that's the grease, that's the grease. I'm like, now that I'm older and I'm thinking about it, my little scabs on my ears, that wasn't no grease. I was getting burnt. But I guess from jumping so much. And my mother, Ma, you was funny, because you would say things like, you keep jumping, you gonna get burnt. You keep jumping, you gonna get burnt. But that thing was just too close to my ear. Hi, Gloria. I love you too. Thank you for joining me tonight. Yeah, so like I said, my oldies but goodies vibe, and my no shade but shade, even my no shade but shade brand. I tell people no shade but shade is not a negative thing. It's how you take it. My no shade but shade is about keeping it real with people or your friends or your family or whoever just out in the world. And sometimes people may think that you're saying something shady, but it's actually you're being truthful. It just depends how people, connect with it. I'm sorry, somebody's calling my phone. I don't know I'm on a podcast. Um, it's about keeping it real. Sometimes I feel like, people don't really know what the brands stand for. Like when I sell my t-shirts sometimes or I'm doing things, people always be like, what does No Shade But Shade, stand for? Unless they see me doing comedy or they see me hosting an event and I promote myself, then they kind of understand. But some people may say, what does No Shade But Shade stand for? It sounds good though. And when I break it down to them, they be like, oh, now that makes sense. No shade but shade. And then they start coming up with, all different ways how they going to utilize the word, the brand or however they want to do it. But it's really a fun thing. Even when I say shady topic, shady fun, shady humor, I'm not saying it that I'm going to be a shady person. But sometimes how I may say things, it may sound shady, depending how the person connect. And sometimes it just may be shady because let's just keep it real. Sometimes you got to get shady with folks. You have to. But sometimes it ain't all about throwing shade. Shade can come from a good tree sometimes. It doesn't have to always fall from a bad tree for those who think that the word shade always mean to be messy. It's not. It depends what type of shade you are, Hey, we all come in different shades. Sometimes we can't throw different shades. It depends on you. What's your shade is what's your shade. What's my shade is what's my shade. I'm not always the greatest shade because sometimes I am a little shady. But that's what No Shade But Shade is all about. So listen, shop Shady Side as well. I also have a link to my t-shirts. I'm coming out with some amazing colors for the summer. So, be looking forward to that. Different slogans this year. I'm just trying to put the work in this year. I feel like I'm about to be 49 years old. I want to make a goal by the time I'm 50 as far as like the entertainment world. And I'm just praying that I get there. So, listen, get your goals together. Get your dreams together. Get your thoughts together. Write down your plans, your ideas. I'm always putting notes in my phone. I feel like notes in my phone isn't good. It is, but it isn't. We do still need that paperwork. We do still need that paperwork. Cause listen, if you over 45, listen, y'all already know we can write stuff down in our phone. We can even set an alarm and still forget what the alarm went off for. So I'm telling you, the minds is different now. The minds is very, very different now. So listen, I be trying to fix my shirt now because I've been seeing on some of my episodes, I've been looking a little jacked up. And that's no shade. That's just keeping it real. But it's cool because as I told you, I'm growing into this podcast. I'm growing into more speaking into the mic. I'm growing into just like having these conversations live. People don't know. It's fun talking in the mic and talking to people. But believe it or not, talking to people can be one of the most, I don't want to say scary. What is the word? It's not scary, but it's shy, worrisome, kind of thing that you can approach in life. So listen, shout out to anybody who stands in front of people. I don't care if you a comic. I don't care if you a spokesperson. I don't care what you are. If you ever notice, if you go to any events or just any particular things where people have to talk on a mic. If you pay attention, people that talk on a mic, especially people who's not really used to talking in public or just being a very sociable person, they are frightening. They are frightened. Trust me, I'm telling you, talking on a mic can be very frightening. But to me, because I enjoy it, because I love it, because I feel like I'm learning, I'm growing into, the things that I love to do. That's why I be so willing to do what I'm doing and, look back at my mistakes and look back at what I said. And, the more I do that, the more I do it, the more I am just like growing into myself. So that's the best part about what I love about myself. Just growing into myself and just understanding when growing into myself is going to be some mistakes, it's going to be some error, it's going to be some faults, it's going to be some look backs. You're going to be like, oh, Tawana, why you say that? Why you did that? Why you had that on? Why you... But that's the only way you're going to get into it. The only way you're going to get into it is you got to get into it. You got to figure it out. So that's why I always love when I see people who have elevated. I'm telling you, people who have elevated are definitely inspirational to me. The part that I love about seeing people elevate, I don't care what it is. I always like to look back from where they started. It's just something to me about looking back where they started. That's why I always love to hear people who conversate about how it all began, how they got it from the mud, how they did it alone, how they had to figure things out by themselves, how they started with, people that they had to let go, how, they thought they were going to be connected with people forever and it just didn't happen. I love to listen to, inspirational things that teaches me how, sometimes the people you love are not going to be the people that's going to support you. Friendships are going to fall apart. Some of them are personal. Some of them are, due to, people just not knowing how to get to that place where they need to be at or where they want to be at. So I check out a lot of podcasts, believe it or not. I listen to a lot of things because that helps me. That helps me understand things, differently, especially like with some of the things that, I'm in now. I needed to hear that because I'm going to be honest. When you first start off as a business or you first start off doing certain things, I hear people always say, oh, you can't look for these people. You can't worry about those people. You can't. It's not that you're worried. It's not that you're looking, but you do have an expectation, unfortunately, at the beginning of time. And it's not an expectation where I'm saying like, how can I say it? It is an expectation, but it's not an expectation. It's more of an expectation to me out of love, out of thinking, people who you are surrounded by or, you thought were your friends or people who you grew up with or people who you thought you had a connection with. You do kind of hold an expectation out of love. And the more and more I hear like different podcasts or, those different things that come on social media, when people are talking in videos, like even my Instagram, I have been following so many inspirational people or people who's just telling you the difference with, leveling up and things like that. It's like I don't even see people personal page no more because it's like every time I turn around, those are the videos and things that keep popping up on my Instagram page. And I'm like, you know what? At first I was getting a little annoyed by it, but I'm like, you know what? I think God is doing that with these videos that's coming up on my page, these inspirational speakers and just people that's just talking about different things that I've had experience. I am experiencing. I love the fact that it's helping to teach me. It's helping me to hear the things that I need to hear for where I'm going or I'm trying, to go. And that's one thing that I do appreciate about social media. I feel like you can get some knowledge off of social media, especially, when you are doing different things in life. And it don't have to be about comedy. It don't have to be about entertainment. It could just be life goals. It could be, about going to school. It can be, moving to a different state. It could be about, just different things. It don't have to be about elevating as far as like in the elevating in the entertainment world. It could be just about elevating in your life, where people kind of talk about, just the things that they weren't doing to the things that they are doing, or, it talks about, just getting to those places, just getting to those levels, even if it's just for your mind, even if it's just, maturing, so that I will say I appreciate about the internet, when you can come across people who's speaking to you sometimes in the video, or just things that you feel like you need. Even on YouTube, like I said, I always watch a lot of podcasts are very informative to me. Also too, I like to watch podcasts because, being that I am a podcaster, I started watching people like B Simone. I've always watched her, but just people who I've seen started with comedy and podcasts, and people who's on a podcast that they don't have a co-host, that helps me look at people who gets on a podcast like I am doing today, talking by myself, not always feeling like I need a host, not always feeling like I need a guest. So to me, I like how I'm teaching myself. And I feel like there is a lot of teaching, outlets on social media, that each one of us could gravitate to if we need it, So for me, I can say some parts of social media is very healthy and informative for me, because I need it. It helps me. And, I love to even talk about seeing other people growth and hearing, inspirational things, and just seeing how people made it, seeing where people started from, to where they at, because sometimes, you hear people already talking when they already in the big league. So me, I like to follow people that started from the bottom and made it to the top, because to me, it just encourages me, to say, like, no, my story ain't gonna be their story, but to hear some of these stories, I can relate. And it's also, like I said, it's encouraging to me. It's inspirational to me. It helps teaching me. And one thing about me, I don't never mind saying or telling people that I watched somebody else's story that helped me grow in life, or somebody helped me to get me to where I am in life. I will never ever be afraid to admit that, to say that, rather it's something positive that helped me grow, or if it's something negative that made me say I don't want to go that way. I think it's okay to be okay with give people their props, and be able to say, I thank them, or, I watched them, or I paid attention to them, not on no copy stuff, but where as though it's going to help you grow into where you're trying to get to. Because I've learned in this world, you can't do a lot of things on your own. It has nothing to do with the age. Sometimes you do need that backhand. You do need that back help. And not only, like I said, in the entertainment world, just in life, period. It's just always good to feel that you have someone, or you could follow someone, or you could look at someone, and get the best that you can get out of it. So never be afraid to feel like somebody else can be very, upbringing to you, inspirational to you, bring that motivational, in you, make you think different, make you see different, make you understand that you're not alone with things that you're doing or you're going through. So listen, I would say you can start, because to me, I feel like some of those things that I watch, that right there is starting my tribe. That there is starting my tribe. I used to think that a tribe is, oh, I need to have this person who I know and that person who I know to come over here and do this and be here, and in some ways it can be true, but I feel like now when I look at things like that, that is where I'm starting my tribe. Even here, we're doing a podcast with, Brave Studio giving me this outlet to come here, and do my podcast. They're a part of my tribe now. There are people who's helping me grow, helping me speak, learn how to speak in the mic, learn how to look into a camera, learn how to converse. So you gotta pay attention to, which I have learned that tribes come in different flavors, styles, different people, different ways, different opportunity. Tribes can be a beautiful thing. And it don't always have to be about people, you personally know. So right here is my tribe. But wow, it's 7:46. Hey, Julie. Happy belated birthday again. My girl getting older but looking younger. I want to be like you, Juju, when you grow up. Shout out to everybody that's following me, that's tuned in today on my Facebook Live. I appreciate y'all. But I'm gonna shake this bag up because I done started conversing about some of everything else, which once again, I am excited. Can I get a round of applause for me? I am excited. This is what I call growth for me. This is what I call standing on business for me. Oh my gosh. Y'all don't understand. All right, let me see. I'm gonna pull out one. Are you someone people can look up to? Wow. Yes. I feel like I am someone people can look up to because for the most part of me, I like to give what I want to receive. So I definitely feel that I am someone that people can look up to because once again, even with this question, even with what I'm doing now, even what I'm talking about, relatable. I feel like I can relate to a lot of things. I feel like I'm a very understanding person. I feel like I'm a loyalist. I feel like I'm just a person that you can look up to because I feel like I give out positive energy. Even with some of the things that I discuss on the podcast, like I'm talking about, growing into myself, learning different things about myself and willing to learn it, even if it caused me to fail and start all over again, So I feel like because I have been through some of those experiences in life, period, I can be someone that people can look up to because also too, I so believe in girl power. I so believe in sisterhood. I just believe in, positive things. I'm not perfect, no, but I do feel like for the most part, I try to represent myself in a very good way that people could say, hey, she's that girl. She's that girl. She can be that friend. She can be that person. So yes, I do feel like I am someone that people can look up to. Let me try another one. Hey, shout out to my sister Simone Nelson, who's up on my live. Listen, y'all, my sister is a caterer. She's down in North Carolina. I got to get her up here on the podcast so she can get up here and promote herself and tell you guys about her. And I'm telling you, people hit me up all the time about her even down in North Carolina. She's a Jersey girl, but she moved to North Carolina. But people are hitting me up. People hit her up, about catering their events for them even down in North Carolina. So if you come from Jersey doing your thing and you're now in North Carolina doing your thing on the catering business, baby, you a good caterer. So shout out to my sister, Christine Nelson, Shrimp Queen, Simone's Catering Service. She is down in Raleigh, North Carolina. So if you are having an event, you can hit her up, get her prices, get the details, check out her menus. She does brunches, she does lunches, she does dinners, she does events, she does picnics, she does romantic dinners for two. I've seen my little sister do it all. So shout out to her. Can I get a round of applause for my baby sister down in Raleigh, North Carolina? Yes, shout out to my baby sister. Shout out to my daughter, Tiana, my son, Jermaine, my two grandbabies, Josiah and Isla. I have a new grandbaby, y'all. Oh, my God, I'm so in love with my grandbaby. Yes, I love my grandchildren. I love my grandchildren just like I love my children. Oh, my God. Shout out to my babies. They're always following me. They are just, thank God they are some amazing children. Shout out to my niece, Paris, down in North Carolina. I can't believe my niece is in high school now. She's a sophomore. And I just can't believe it. Is my niece a sophomore or is she a freshman? Oh, God, I'm telling you, time just goes so fast. I believe my niece is a sophomore. Anyway, shout out to my niecey Pooh, Paris Walton. She's such an amazing niece. I love my niece. She's in her own, she got her own little swag with her. I love that about her. Hey, Renee, shout out to you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. She's a freshman. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I think because Easter we was talking about her going into sophomore. So I'm so stuck on the sophomore. But my niecey Pooh is a freshman. I just love my family. Just shout out to my family for always supporting me, being there. They're definitely my village, my team. We're definitely a village and a team, one another, and we will forever stick together like glue. Thank y'all for always supporting, the movement when it comes to, the things that I do. I don't think I'm going to pick another card. I did pick one. Wow, I was really supposed to come here and talk about these topics. But the good thing is, y'all, it's a bunch of them. So every episode, it's a bunch of them that people have sent to me. Oh my gosh. This one say, how long have it taken you to get over an ex? See, now that's a conversation for a few more minutes that I ain't gonna have time to chit chat with y'all. But listen, y'all, don't forget, Shady Talk Wednesday podcast airs every second and fourth Wednesday of the month, bringing you real topic, real issues, live guests, shady humor, shady giveaways, and so much more. My platform is always open for promotion. I tell people to, if you would like to be a part of or a guest on the Shady Talk Wednesday podcast, you can email me at mz, that's Ms. No shade but shade at gmail.com. I can set up an interview date for you and give you the following information, how to be a guest on the Shady Talk Wednesday podcast. If you haven't, I would love for you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel called Shady Talk Wednesday, because soon I'm just going to be airing there. I try to stay on Facebook too for my oldies but goodies, especially like my mama, who's not too familiar, and my uncle and some of my other family members and some of my older people who's not too familiar with the YouTube channel. I'm always, someone they can look up to try to compromise and have patience with them, because I know they enjoy, listening to me, coming up here, hearing the conversations and just checking me out. So I got to get them with Keys Tech Bike senior class, so Keys can teach them about the YouTube channel. Also, too, listen, there's a senior program out in Patterson called Keys Tech Bike Seniors Program. It's for the seniors. The seniors that's involved with the in the class now, they enjoy it. I believe the class ends in June, but I believe it starts back up in September. So if anyone is interested, or getting your grandmas in, your older aunts, your moms, just older people that you feel can use the technology program, feel free to email me. And I can share that information with Keys Tech Bike and give you all her information to find out how to sign up for the next class. I feel like the class is very productive. It's very needed. I love the fact that she does her class, because just seeing that she has a grandma out in the world that really needs to know about this technology, because as y'all see, everything has turned over to a whole bunch of technology. Shoot, I tell her not only the seniors need it, shoot, the middle-aged people too need it too. But we're gonna leave the programs for the seniors, because we know the seniors need it. We know the seniors don't like to use their credit cards. They still like to get the cash out the ATM and hand it to you in an envelope. So Keys Tech Bike class is to teach them how to utilize, things that they need to learn in the technology world, just also to help them too, to feel that they don't always have to drive out somewhere, or in case of emergency and they want to pay something and do something, or try to get something and see something, they have that outlet of learning from her class that teaches them how to get into things that they don't have to stress their self out, even showing them how to get on group chats with their families for the holidays. She teaches them so much informative information. So listen, guys, Keys Tech Bites, she have a senior program that's at St. Luke Church every Tuesdays and Thursday night. Like I said, you can email me, inbox me, and ask me all about it. I'll make sure I give you the information. Also, don't forget, Oldies But Goodies comedy show is coming May 10th. It's a 3 p.m. comedy show. It's a 3 p.m. event. Get you in, get you out, get you back home in your Walmart nightgowns. So make sure you get to the link on my page. Inbox me if you want to find out how to get a ticket, and we'll take it from there. But thank you once again so much for everyone who's tuned in with me. Facebook Live and YouTube on tonight. I pray that you guys will continue to rock out with me. I pray that I continue to be informative. I continue that I pray that I continue to show the love and give you the conversation that you need, or just I don't know, y'all. I don't know. See, now I'm at the end of the show. I was doing great, but now when I got about 2 more minutes, now I get tongue-tied. But that's okay. That's what I said. That's the learning part. That's the process. That's me just doing what I do. But I know anyway, it's all love. No judgment. We listen, but we don't judge. And I love the fact that with us listening and not judging, we're also learning that it's okay. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to say I made a mistake. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But once again, thank you all for tuning in with me on Shady Talk Wednesday. Hope to see you soon. Good night.